And for this week, we'll be taking a look at powering the African continent, and in particular the sub-Saharan African continent and southern African markets. But to help me do this and talk about power projects on the continent, I am joined by Chris Ehlers, and Chris is the business director at ACWA Power. Chris, thanks so much for making the time to join us today.
Good afternoon.
Maybe just give us a sense of what these projects are looking like. We know that in South Africa we've embarked on our own independent power projects. How have they been received in the likes of the southern African markets?
Yes, the renewable program in South Africa has been internationally recognized as a top-notch program. So well done to South Africa for that. Now have been more than 2,100 megawatts connected to the grid. So there is now a lot of focus. There was a very high-level international conference 2 weeks ago in Cape Town, the SIREC 2015, where it has been demonstrated as a model for the African continent to build on that, and to use the same mechanism to bring power to rural areas. And we all know that there are enough areas where there's not enough power in the grid today.
Where are the hot spots in southern Africa? Where are we seeing a lot of traction in terms of mega projects in the power space?
Yeah, just to give you an idea of what's going on just in the neighboring countries. So in Namibia, Botswana, Mozambique today, there are 500 megawatt to 1,000 megawatt lacking already. So what does that mean? We compare that about 2 to 4 million households of power is short today in each of these countries alone. So these countries have embarked to bring new capacity onto the grid. For example, in Mozambique, we are developing right now a 300 megawatt coal-fired power station. On the other side, with all the renewable resources here in the region, the Northern Cape in South Africa, as well as Namibia and Botswana, are amongst the highest solar radiation in the world. So you've got a massive resource which is today starting being harnessed, but we are just scratching on the surface in terms of what is possible in the future. To give you an idea, the infrastructure in terms of manufacturing in South Africa is phenomenal. We're using
what about the infrastructure in other parts? You mentioned the likes of Botswana and Namibia and Mozambique. We've got these huge gas finds. We've got coal-powered projects there as well. To get this power out of the ground in terms of Mozambique, the infrastructure there, how is that working out?
So as you know, the infrastructure is very limited today. So to pull off a 300 megawatt project in terms of coal-fired, it is a massive challenge. So we are developing that right now in the Tet province at the Zambezi River. Well, this is really frontier market where we are in terms of skills. We have to build up skills for people. There is, as you may know, in the northern Mozambique, there is world's largest high-quality coal resources. So we're going to use those in Mozambique to produce electricity for the industrial purposes and obviously for the Mozambicans itself. So it will be a major boost to the Mozambican economy over the years to come.
Now, Chris, obviously you're a player in this particular industry. When you're going into these different jurisdictions, being an energy player, are you partnering up with government? What is the arrangement there in order to get these projects off the ground?
So what we do generally is we negotiate with government or government entities and a power purchase agreement, which defines the term of we delivering electricity over a period of, say, 20-25 years is a typical example. And that gives us the horizon to line up the financing we need. So we use generally commercial financing with development bank financing to make that happen, plus our own equity. So all that is our contribution to build these power stations over a period of 2 to 3 years, depending on the technology, and then providing the electricity which is much needed, as we know.
Chris, thanks so much for coming in and giving us an understanding of the landscape, especially with these power projects in southern Africa. That was Chris Ehlers, and he is the business director at ACWA Power.